Welcome to the Complete Safety Show. I'm Ryan Gisclair, and in this episode, we're going to discuss and talk about computer-based training, virtual reality training, and instructor-led training. Let's just define these three, just to start. So we have our instructor-led training, or traditional training that we've done or all been through, where you have an instructor, you have a PowerPoint, you have a video, you have some type of screen or interactive media. And you go through the lesson, you go talk about the subjects, answer questions, maybe do a hands-on, these kind of things. But you have that instructor, hence the name instructor-led. You have that instructor standing there or sitting there talking directly to the students. Then we have computer-based training. We look at our traditional computer-based training that we've all probably been through or experienced. Most of us have, where you sit down on the computer and there's some kind of presentation, some kind of video, and we go through, watch, take a little test. It has time limits. It has all this kind of stuff on it where we're just, there's really no interaction, right? Then we have kind of a new wave of things where it's virtual reality training, where you're actually put into an environment where you either with glasses or in some kind of simulator, where you're in that environment and you're allowed to explore and do different things and experience and touch, quote unquote, that environment and try to learn from that perspective. So some of us sit back and look at it and we're like, man, this virtual reality stuff is a little far-fetched from a learning standpoint, because we don't learn that way. What I think, though, is that as time goes on, as we get down the road, maybe 15, 20 years from now, maybe even a little bit sooner, but I think more 15, 20 years in my opinion, this next generation of worker, that are 5 right now, this is how they're going to learn, right? They're going to learn in this virtual world, and they're going to be able to take information from that. My generation, the generation ahead of me, we have a different way that we learn. Our brain works a little differently, so we're more adjusted to this instructor-led or to some degree this computer-based training methodology, where we see something, asks us a question, we answer it, or with an instructor, the instructor teaches us something, we retain the knowledge, we see it, we hear it, we go do it with hands-on, we ask questions, we get those questions back. But all in all, guys, from a standpoint of what's good, what's bad, we really can't tell you. I can't tell you what's good for your employees. I can't tell you what's bad for your employees from this methodology standpoint. Although I still do think that in the current state of how things are with the access of this virtual reality thing, which I do think is the future of it, if you're just looking at, if we take virtual out and we're just looking at computer-based and you're just looking at instructor-led, I think there's pros and cons to both, okay? And again, these are my opinions on this. From the instructor-led standpoint, new employees, new training, first time someone goes through something, I think that instructor-led is the way to go, in my opinion, because there's going to be questions. There's going to be things that need to be asked, and you know what? That instructor's needed there to do that. On the refresher side, some subjects where it's basic information and a guy just has to be told, or girl has to be told every year, access to medical records, bloodborne pathogens, certain little things that we deal with that are very routine in a way, that don't have a big risk level from a safety side. I think your CBT pathway can be beneficial and save some time and move things forward. I still think, though, that when we're dealing with safety, there's a certain level of attention that we need to pay to how risky is it. If this guy has no questions asked and he's taking fall protection on CBT, does he really know how to use that rescue pole, right? Does he really know how to rig up something? Does he really know the chemicals that we deal with from a HAZCOM perspective? So, and again, that's my opinion on it, of how I look at those things. But some companies they utilize a CBT, and it does them well, and their incident rates stay low, and they have a mature culture. Going back to our last couple weeks ago, they have a mature culture, and their safety management system is in place, and the CBT works. I just think you have to know your employees and know their knowledge base and how they retain that information, and that's going to help you guys out. There's no, hey, do this because of X. It's kind of open. It's going to be what you feel that your employee base wants to do. We've gotten to a point now where we do a lot of classes via Skype. It's kind of a CBT with an instructor. I think it's a merger of the two where it works, where you can do distance learning. We've been doing it in colleges, guys, for certain things that don't require hands-on, where it's just information and explaining things. You get on Skype, you get on a computer, just like this, but we're live, right? And we have these conversations and we can interact and go back and forth. We do that very often, and it's become a helpful tool for people in the field where we can engage and interact with those guys. So, you know, uh, keep all these options open. Know that down the road this VR thing is coming. These simulators and all that stuff. It's going to happen, guys. It's going to be here probably before we know it. Probably before my lifetime's over. Training's going to be done in a virtual reality environment. So keep your mind open, be adjusted and excited for technology and whatnot, but know your employees, know how they learn, pay attention to what they're doing, know how mature your management system is. Can you get away with doing these time-saving deals, or do you really need to sit down and take the time and work it out? So understand that these are, the main ways of training nowadays: instructor-led, CBT, virtual's coming. Just pay attention to them. Keep it all open. Hope you enjoyed last week. Fat Safety was here. He didn't make an appearance this week. He wanted to. He was beating on the door, but I told him to get out of here. So make sure that you stay tuned to our episodes, guys. We're going to bring these to you every week. We're going to try to keep them going. Next week, my partner, Mr. Granger, will be back with us again as we discuss some other things. So follow us on social media: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube channel. Subscribe to it for us, guys. Facebook, like our page. Go to our website, check out our blog on Tumblr. We're all over the place, trying to keep you informed, trying to offer you some value. So let us know that you're paying attention to us. Use our hashtag Complete Safety, or hashtag Complete Safety Show. Let us know you watched it, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.